Today we'll be finishing up Excel Project 2. What I have so far from last time is this. We have entered information about Clepore Engineering, filled in. These are going to become titles. These are column headings. It'd probably be good to make those bold and in a nice format. We've already put our numbers in, and I'll open up the ribbon. We've already put our numbers in comma format. Now, how do I know if that's in comma format? I click on it. I can't tell up here what style it's in, but I see it's showing number here. And if I ever look at my extra details here about number format, I see that they're in general number format as 2 decimals. My negative numbers are shown with a dash in front of them. That's what comma format does for us. So remember, if we ever want to see what comma format does, you can apply the formatting and then view this and see all the formats available, but shows you what comma does. It gives you 2 decimals, negative numbers with a dash in front of them. That's one thing about Excel, that you see the formatting. It's never clear exactly how it got set, but you can see up here in the formatting as you click on them. Those are accounting format, those are number format. Now, if I go here and go accounting format, it actually puts a $ in front of that. So we've formatted our numbers, and let's take a look at the percentages. Since these are not dollars, we don't want to put these in accounting format. We want to put them in percent format. Let's just take a look at what that does in the details here. I see there's a percentage format, and the only modification for the percentage is how many decimal places in percentage. So it adds that little percent character at the end of that. And in advanced courses, you can even learn how to do advanced formatting of numbers. You actually can specify some special formatting style. That's for the advanced classes. Okay, now we would like to take our Excel project, and notice whenever I see pound signs like that, don't panic. That just means at the particular zoom level I've changed it to, if I double click on the border, it just doesn't fit. So zooming at different rates, the pound signs will come and go. It's a little weirdness of Excel. Now we would like it to look like this. This is our target. Lovely formatting with nicely formatted column headers, bolded row headers down here towards the bottom, accounting format numbers at the top, but not everything. Counting formats in the totals, most of them. And then looks like our numbers down here are all accounting format. We see the $ there. So that's our goal now, is to format this in a lovely way. Now you probably know how it's done. We've done this with the first one, but good deal to practice. So we're going to first of all make that title. Oh, and before we do that, they would like us to choose a theme. Let's practice changing our theme. Over here under the page layout, I can choose my theme of my entire spreadsheet. Just like we can do themes in Word, we can do themes in Excel. Under the page layout, instead of a design tab, it's page layout tab, themes, and they would like us to choose the gallery theme. Not a huge change, just in a few colors, and it looks like the font changes a bit. The numbers stay the same, but the style of some of the characters adjust a little bit. Now let's go ahead and let's go in the order that we do in the book, in case someone's following along in the book here. We're going to merge and center, just like we did in the previous one. We want to merge and center this across our spreadsheet. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, all the way out to the right, column K. Select through all the way out to column K, because we're going to merge that into one cell. And because it's a common thing to do, it's over here in the Home tab. There is a merge and center right there. But just to show you that if I don't remember the merge and center, or I want to do something different, I'm going to show you how, if I go to the main alignment settings here, here is where I can choose the merge cells, and I can choose the horizontal alignment, and I can also choose vertical alignment. Most often alignment is default to the bottom, but I can choose both center top or center horizontally and center vertically, and that will allow me to merge and center like that. Let me undo that and just see how merge and center here looks like it does the same thing, but let's take a look at exactly what it did. I see that it merged it, it centered it horizontally, but left the vertical centering at the bottom. Now, if you ever are asked, like something like a final, to align both vertically and horizontally, you have to come to the Format Cells dialog and choose Center Vertical. The merge and center centers it horizontally. So remember how to get there. That extra little dialog lets you merge and center, both vertically and horizontally, if you so desire. Let's do the same thing this time. We'll do the shortcut salary report. Let's merge and center that using the convenient icon, since vertical centering is something we usually don't care about. And just like before, we would like this to be a better looking title. It's a little small right now. Let's change that to a style of, where's our title style? There's our title style. Now it's looking weird on my screen. The T is looking strange. And let's increase the font size. Let's see, does Control-Shift greater than increase the font size? Nope, Control-Shift greater doesn't work. But I can choose the font size here to increase it, or select a font size as I hover over it. Let's try something a little more dramatic. Let's try 28. And on this one, salary report as a subtitle. Let's see what styles we have available here. We have title. We don't have subtitle as a built-in cell style. So let's just choose title, and yeah, that's decent. We'll leave it at the smaller size. If I ever want a fancier text, let's see here. I don't have the fancy text. Let's try, no, it looks like that's the only style. I don't have the fancy styles available to me in Word, like the Smart Art and things. Okay, so we have the title, subtitle. Now let's continue formatting the rest of these. Let's see, we would like both of these. We want to fancy up our title a bit. Let's see, our goal was something like this. They actually put a little bit of a light blue background on the title. Let's do that with ours too. Select through both of them and then fill right here. Let's fill that column or those cells with a light, what is it called? It is called Indigo Accent 5. A conservative, just a slight shading to that. And if you want to choose a different style, different color, just choose any of these colors. Annoying yellow, that would be hard on the eyes. Nice conservative. Accountants like conservative colors. Okay, so we see the actual effect after clicking off of it. And let's see, now we would like a border underneath our column headings. Or where are we putting that border? No, it looks like we're putting the border underneath the title. Sorry, we're putting the border around that title. Let's see. Yeah, there's a border. You barely can see that border. Let's put a little border around that by choosing our border style. Where do we find border style? Right over here. And let's choose a thick outside border, just so it's obvious we've done it. I can't see the effect until I click off of it. Now I see that outside border. So select the both of them to have a border around them. And let's see, can I adjust the thickness of that border? Let's see. I don't see being able to adjust the thickness of that border. Let's see if I can go down to more borders. And let's see here. Can I give it a thicker border? Let's try that. It looks like I have these styles available to me. And let's give it a, how about a purplish border, just for a little extra style. And now click OK. I don't see it until I click off of it, and I can barely tell that that's slightly purple. Now, I think we're done with the title finally. And now we're going to apply a cell style to my column headings. Select through row 3 all the way out to column K. And let's see what style would go good with those column headings. Now I suspect if I change the style, they might get larger. Let's find out. Let's try. In the book they would like us to choose heading 3. Heading 3 gives us a red underline, bold text. Now notice the wrapping text got strange, a little bit strange. Let's double click on that column and see if we can get that to fit better. Double click. Now that comes out a little better. Let's see if that one adjusts a bit. That one adjusted a tiny bit. Remember, if our column ever gets too small, the text may not go pound signs, but the numbers will turn into pound signs. Double click on the border to get it back to a nicely fitting. Remember, if I want to auto fit everything, Control A, select all, double click on any border, and it will auto fit everything for you. All right, so we have a nice column heading. You know what? I'd like to separate this a little bit from the title. An easy way to do that, a lot of people, you'll find worksheets, they'll do an insert a row above this. Easy thing to do if I want a little space between me and my title, I just increase the height of that row, because remember, by default most things are vertically aligned at the bottom. By giving this row a little more height, I have a little bit of a space separation. I think that looks better. And now let's see what other styles. We would like to apply a total style to my total rows. Let's apply a total style all the way across. Even though there's nothing in those cells, it would look nicer to have the total style all the way across. Select through all of those and choose cell style of, there's my total. It makes it bold. Notice it doesn't change the formatting of the numbers. We'll come back to that. And let's make these bold. I think we simply choose bold here. We don't apply any style. We just choose bold. Control B or hit the B icon. Now it's starting to look a little better. Look a little more professional. And pound signs because of the zoom level I'm at. Couple other things now. We would like some of the numbers to be in accounting format. Before we do that though, we would like to center some things. We'll zoom in a little bit here. These dependents, these numbers are kind of pushed against the edge here. It's not quite visually very good. Let's center all the text in that column. Easy way to center it, if I'm just happy with everything in that column, just click on the column header and center it, and it centers everything in there. These didn't get centered. Why is that? That's interesting. Perhaps because of the number format that they're in. Let's see here. These are centered. They're general format. These are centered, but they're in accounting format. It looks like accounting format overrides the centering. So let's change the format of these to match this. Easy way to do it is select that, and let's do the format painter and paint the same format over these cells. Then they'll be centered nicely. I don't think I need to see the average out that many decimals. Let's decrease the decimals on that to 2 decimals. Looks crazy with so many decimals. So centering that, if it's an accounting format, now notice what that format was. It was general format, not accounting format. Let's see what else we want to do here. We would like all the numbers. Yeah, so far I think we put all the numbers in comma format except the percentages. But in the book they would like the top rows. Let's take a look at our goal here. They would like, where's our picture? Here it is. We would like, see how this top row, wherever they're dealing with dollars, they have the dollar sign showing up. That means those are in accounting format. Let's put those in accounting format in any numbers that have to do with dollar figures. So come back to here. These are not dollar figures. There's a dollar figure. Gross pay, federal tax, state tax. Skip tax percent and control click on net pay. And now I'll click the accounting format. Notice I don't put tax percent in accounting format because that's not a dollar figure. And now let's also put these numbers here that have to do with dollars. Select through, control select, and put those in accounting format to show the dollar. Pound signs. Just double click on a border and auto fit that column. You'd think that it would auto fit it for you whenever that happened, but no, it gives you pound signs. Well, now it's looking pretty good. We have totals, highest and lowest, and average. Let's see here. We're not doing anything down there in accounting format yet. Let's just verify our goal. Oh, it looks like they do put these figures out down here in, wait a minute, it's not the same accounting format. Notice here the accounting format here shows the dollar sign left aligned. Down here, just for a little bit of variation, they want the dollar sign right up against those numbers. How in the world did they do that? Let's see how that was done. Let's choose a cell here that has to do with dollars all the way out to there. Out to there, those are dollar figures. And control select through these, those are also currency. Now, I don't want the dollars to show left aligned. I want them to show right up against my number. Let's see, how could I do that? This is where we're going to have to come up here to the details of the number format. Open up that dialog. And let's see what choices we have if we want to show those numbers. Oh, look here, they have 2 decimal places, but right now there is no symbol. Well, that's what happens if I just say, well, show the dollar sign symbol, and then click OK. Oh, that's showing it aligned left. Let's try it again. So number format, accounting symbol, that shows it left aligned. Let's try something else. Let's try currency with a symbol dollar sign and see how that shows up. There, it shows up right against the number. Just to show you that you can have complete control over how the number is formatted if you go here and learn about the details available to you. So accounting format didn't give me much choices. Currency format lets me decide if negative numbers, instead of showing up in a dash, have a parenthesis around them. This is a more common accounting format. I first learned that when someone accountant made a presentation. I thought, what's parentheses around the numbers mean? Red means negative. Parentheses also means negative. You can choose when you're showing a number in currency format whether or not to display the symbol. So now I have these in currency format, and it's slightly different than accounting format. Now, to an accountant, this is probably important. To me, it doesn't seem to be that important, but just in case some accountant comes to you and says, wait a minute, you're formatting your characters wrong, or could you please help me get that dollar sign next to my number? Well, it may come back to you that, hey, up here I can choose currency or accounting. They're very similar, but they're not quite the same. And it's sad that the sample doesn't show you that under accounting format, the dollar figure will actually be left aligned. So just a little detail there about capabilities for displaying the numbers. Now, let's see here. Do we have everything good so far? Before we go to the more complex thing here, the percents are also, we have already put them in percent style with 2 decimals. We did that last time. And if I want to view that, I see that percentage style only gives me the choice of how many decimal places. Now comes a new concept, something that will impress anyone using Excel, will help you highlight particular types of numbers. What we'd like to do is show anyone that has worked more than 70 hours to have their hours worked highlighted. Now I could manually do that, but then perhaps someone will correct their hours worked and it will still be highlighted. We want Excel to highlight automatically for us. Let's learn about conditional formatting. And I'll walk through it once and then I'll do it again just for review. I select the cells that I want to be conditionally formatted, meaning Excel is going to decide what color or what style it gets based on a condition. So here's how I go. I select the cells to apply conditional formatting. Click Conditional Formatting here under the Home tab. And I'm going to apply a new rule. I'm going to make up a rule of my own, not using built-in rules that will do some interesting things, but I want to learn how to build my own rules. So I'll make a new rule in conditional formatting. And the rule I'm going to choose is going to be formatting the cells based on their what they contain. Not a specific value, but the cell value that is greater than, I change the between to be greater than, and I'm going to type in the number 70. So this is the rule. Anything greater than 70 now, I can decide the formatting for that cell. And the formatting we want to apply to that cell, let's go ahead and click Format here now. After typing in greater than, or choosing greater than and typing in 70, the format that way I would like is a fill. I choose the Fill tab. We want to fill it with a dark purple, whatever that color is. Does it tell me the color? It's not telling me the color. Third from the right, and I click OK. And I see a sample of what those numbers would look like. Dark purple with dark text. And let's see, are they going to change the font color? Yes, they're going to change the font color to white as well to make it appear a little better. So let's go to formatting. Let's also change the font color to be white. I click OK, and now I see a sample of what that would look like. Now comes the actual verification that it's working. Once I click OK, automatically any numbers here that show out that have hours worked greater than 70 now show with a background of purple. Now I'm going to do that again just for practice, because this is often the first time anyone has seen conditional formatting. I'm going to Control Z that and start over. Select the cells to apply conditional formatting. Conditional formatting. New rule. Format cells that contain. The condition is the cell value is greater than, I'm going to type in the number 70. I could be referring to another formula somewhere on the page. The format that will be applied to cells who have a value greater than 70 in the selected cells will have a, first of all, a font color of white and a fill color of, third from the right, purple in this color scheme, in this theme. And I click OK, see the sample of how they'll be formatted if their value is greater than 70. I click OK, and they're automatically formatted. Those are the only cells that I care to have conditional formatting on. So now we have covered conditional formatting. This time this comes in handy is you have particular values you're calculating. Usually negative things you already want to go red. Well, that's built into some of our number formats, such as the currency format. We can have numbers turn red if they ever go negative. Well, we could do that more dramatically. We could shade the cells to be red if they ever go negative. That would really get the attention of our accountants. So conditional formatting is so far the most complex thing to learn here in Excel. At this point, I'm checking all my formatting here. Let's make sure that the formatting matches what our goal was. Let's see here. There's the conditional formatting in their sample. Oh, I see my hire dates. Let's see, my hire dates I don't think are aligned the same as theirs. Let's change our hire date. See how their hire date is showing a 2-digit year? Let's see how we would do that. Come back to mine. I'm going to select the dates that I want to change their formatting. I don't want to change the values. I can come here now to my number format for those particular cells. They are already set to be a date format, but notice there's multiple ways of showing the date. And we're going to choose the one that shows the 2-digit year. That would be that one. Let's see. No, they show the single-digit month if it's a single-digit month. So you have the choice of 2 digits everywhere or selective 2 digits, and click OK. Now our dates are showing up nicely with a little more compact format, and I think those will look nicer by being centered. Let's go ahead and center those, and now we're looking a little better. Let's see our results. I think it looks better centered. They do have them right aligned. Let's see what else. We have comma format. Yes, we have commas in ours. Let's see. Looks like we followed what their desired formatting was. I think we don't need 1,000 decimals on that. I like that alignment. Let's see what else. Could we do something a little better looking? I think, let's see, email address. Let's double click on that border. Fit that a little better. Let's double click on the column 1. We don't need to waste a lot of space there. I do like the setting off by enlarging the height of the rows to make those bottom numbers set off a little bit from the main calculation. I think that just looks better. So I think ours looks a little better than the book. Little white space between the title and a little white space between these and the totals. That's more of a taste thing, but I think it helps to guide your eyes to the important numbers. Those are my important numbers in my calculation. Now, just for practice, how about this? Let's see if we can highlight, just for fun here, let's do a little extra practice with conditional formattings. So this will be extra. I'm going to put this at the bottom. Extra, highlight, new workers, let's see, less than 5 years in green. They're the green newbies. Anyone that has worked less than 5 years. Think you could do that? Let's see if we could do that. Hire date, we want to highlight in green anyone who has worked here less than 5 years. Well, how do I calculate whether they've worked less than 5 years? Let's try something. Let's highlight their cells. Let's go to conditional formatting. New rule. Format cells that contain. Cell value, let's see, it's going to be how long they've worked here. Let's make it less than. Actually, the date gets larger as they work here. So let's do greater than, because a newer higher date will be a larger number. A greater number than, well, it needs to be today minus 5 years. How about we just put that in? Let's see if I can put the date in here of let's see, what's the date today? Today is 3/25. 3/25, and it would be 5 years ago, so let's make it 2019. Will that work? If their hire date is greater than 5 years ago, and let's see if we can format that in a green fill. Let's see if this will work. And click OK. And we all have old workers. Let's change that. Let's say greater than, let's do 10 years, because then this guy should be highlighted. Let's go back and modify our rule. Conditional formatting. I have to now go manage rules if I want to modify a rule that's already there. Let's now edit that rule that's there. And let's change that to be 3/25/2014. Then this guy should be newer than, or he's hired since that date. Let's see if that will work. Okay, and okay, and there we go. Now we have two workers. They're hired. They've been working less than 10 years. We have to change it to 10 years because we don't have anyone that's worked less than 5 years. So anyone that's worked less than 10 years, I conditionally formatted their hire date. Let's take a look at those rules, just to review how I did that. Manage rules. I can edit that rule to see how it worked. And look at that, my date got turned into a number. Cell value greater than means their hire date is a larger number than, I'm assuming that represents the number for 10 years ago. Now if I want to do a formula there, I think I could do now minus 10 years something, but rather than try to figure out what that formula would be, I just hard copied the date, but it changed it into the equivalent number to represent that date. And that's what gave me highlighting of users greater than, or whose date was, their hire date came after 10 years ago. So now you have some practice at conditional formatting in two ways, because that's probably the newest concept here so far. Now let's see here. How about this? Is there anything, just for fun, just for practice with pie charts, let's do a chart of their name and their gross pay as part of a slice of the pie, just to see in this pay period who has the largest slice of pie, just to practice our pie charting skills. Remember, with pie charts, I want to have a label for my slice of pie. These are my labels. I want to have a number representing the size of their slice of pie. Let's have that be, let's see, I could do gross pay or net pay. Let's do net pay. So their name, and now I control select through the numbers that are going to represent the size of the slice of their pie. And I can see that Ben and Savannah are going to have small slices of pies, but just for fun now, let's make that pie chart. Remember how I did that? Select through these, and then control select through the numbers representing the size of the slice of pie. And now, insert. There's a recommended chart. Let's try pie charts, and let's do a 3D pie. Those are always more interesting. And let's move that pie chart to a separate page. Or how about, let's see. Yeah, let's move it just to the bottom beneath this chart, to show you that they don't have to be on a separate page. Let's choose a style of that, though, that makes it a little more usable. I hate legends. I think they do a horrible job on legends. So I like to have my slices of pie labeled. And just because all the slices are very similar, and I might want to compare who is actually have the biggest slice of pie, let's go over here to the plus, underneath data labels. Let's click more options, and let's display the value as well as, or yeah, let's display the value so I can actually compare who got the most pay this pay period. So knowing how to customize your pie charts will make them more useful. And let's give it a title by triple clicking on that title, and let's just call it pay comparison this period. So I can see poor Ben and Savannah, their slices of pie are slightly smaller. If I wanted to see, I exactly compare, I can see the exact numbers. That Ben is the least paid. Just for fun, let's click on the pie once. Click one more time on his slice of pie, actually Ben's slice of pie. There we go. And I can, oops, wrong slice. I can select Ben's slice of pie and drag it away just to highlight poor Ben is being paid the least. And if we want to highlight the greatest, let's see. Oh, Steve over here. Let's see. Linda Fox is getting almost as much as Steve, but Steve is the largest paid. Let's click on his slice of pie, and then I can pull it away, explode it away, to just highlight the highest and lowest paid slice of pie. Just to show you what I can do if I'm, kind of just want to highlighting the slices of pie as I'm doing a presentation, and we give Steve a hard time, or we highlight, yeah, that's the person that we probably want to fire first because we'll save the most money. This person we want to keep around because they're helping us with our profits. They're willing to work for practically nothing compared to Steve. So anytime I want to select a slice of pie to explode it, I have to click it once, click it again in the right place here till I can see which slice is being selected, and I can drag that away far or just a slightly away from my main pie chart. Just to give you little extra skills in dealing with charts. All right, at this point, Excel Project 2 is, let's make sure, I think we're done. They do a spell check in this one. Let's go ahead and do a spell check just to show how we can verify. I'm going to close the charting custom. Now it looks like I don't have any red squigglies, but let's just make sure we haven't misspelled something. I can guess that it's going to be wondering about my proper names. Let's do a spell check. Let's go review, and I can do a spell check. It will start, I believe, where I have currently selected cell. Notice it's seeing my proper names. I'm going to go ahead and choose ignore. It stops only on particular names. Yes, I'm going to have it continue to the beginning of the sheet. Yep, I'm going to ignore that. All my other spell checks have to do with proper names. Let's see, if I wanted just to spell check that, I think if I do a spell check, it still does the whole worksheet. I can't limit the spell check just to be a part of the sheet. So now I've done a spell check, everything looks good. Let's just see if it would catch one. I'm going to purposely misspell something here, and let's see if it catches it. To start at the top, I can select that cell and then start spell checking. Yes, I'm going to ignore that once, ignore that. There it does see that, but it's highlighted. So I can say, yes, correct that one. And let's see, to choose that, I could just click change, and then it continues spell checking. So yes, it will catch errors there, but it also will stop at certain names just because it doesn't find them in the dictionary. And now our Excel Project 2 is complete. I can Control S, save that. And comma format, yep, counting format. This is hours, so it's not a counting format. It looks like we are done, so we can save that and upload that to your homework. And because there's just a little few minutes left, I'm not going to start on the next one. I'm going to let you out early today. Excel Project 2. We'll practice some more conditional formatting, but everything else, I think, I'm hoping you're getting comfortable with what we're doing so far. And remember, Excel is the most likely thing you're going to be needing in a future employment. You'll be writing memos, but learning to use and read spreadsheets and help other people that might be needing to do something with a spreadsheet will make you a very valuable employee. Even if it's not your main job to do spreadsheets, understanding how they work, seeing if someone has given you an error in a spreadsheet, trying to sell you something and incorrectly calculating something, calculating your own budget and mortgage payments. You can do that very easily with a spreadsheet. Excel is not the only spreadsheet. We'll be looking at cloud spreadsheets as well, and they all use very similar formula settings. So once you learn it in Excel, you'll be able to do other spreadsheets. All right, save that and upload it, and have a wonderful day.